Now, we're talking about perseveration, repetitive nature. That's part of the definition. So here's a girl, zero connection to language. She would repeat words. So this is a short clip with her just repeating what I'm saying. And she has that flapping that's coming.
You want one? You want one? Want some chips? You want some chips? Yes?
So, I'm glad I remembered something, which is really important. No language, no meaningful language. And this subtitle, Tapping the Reservoir of Normalcy to Treat Autism, I had that phrase in my mind for about 30 years. I never told anybody because I wanted to keep it for something in the future. And here's the future. Tapping the reservoir of normalcy to treat autism. Language has to come from within her. Sort of common sense. It's not done. It's hardly done at all. Why do I say that? To teach her language, what do people do? What do most speech therapists do? They'll hold up a car, say house. Here's a picture of a house. I know this firsthand. I was in Jeff's house, the kid with the hand. I was at his house with ABA therapists. They were holding up the letter T and have them say T. The idea is you're going to speak by starting with it broken down, and that's going to make speech easier. You don't learn to speak like that. You don't never said oh, mom or mommy. You never said It's absurd. It's absurd. So the speech therapists give a list of words, the most common words. Okay, here it is, baby, boy, because the buzz sound, right? So the whole idea of curriculum, the whole idea of, oh, I'm gonna tell you what you're going to say. I'd like to feel that it's arrogant, disrespectful. I mean, it's like, why can't we get the language from within her to surface? It's there. It's there. Why can't we do that? So this is, I've done, that's it. That's really the whole book. Finding that normal part of that kid. If you ask any parent, was there ever a moment where your child, you felt, wow, that was normal? He looked at you instead of through you. He said something that shocked you. Hasn't that ever happened, that one moment of like, wow, he's just like a typical kid, for that moment? I'm saying, capture that moment, and if you bring that to the surface, so that's 80%, say, of who he is. Now you have a kid who's, I'd like to say, who, like that girl, depending on the kid, well, they're not so autistic anymore, are they? So here's a slight demonstration. Now, I have to say, I'm professional in this. I'm doing something, whatever, I'm getting something from my closet. She's taking my glue and she's emptying out the whole thing. So emotionally, I'm saying, stop, what are you emptying, so I'm acting like a parent, but then I stop myself, I say, hey, wait, I'm a professional. So I did what I did. I wanted to stop her, and you'll see what I did here. I guarantee you, garbage and trash is not the top 50 words of what the kids are supposed to say. It came from her. And when the parents heard that, that's one of her first words, garbage, trash. It kind of broke this log jam of meaningful speech. And there were other things I did with her too. And now this is the mom. We're coming towards the end.
Jesus Christ.
So
Well, that surprised me. She said it at school. I knew she said it at home before. She said it at school. Yes, but it wasn't just saying it. It's because she couldn't get her coat on. So she's like, oh my God, sometimes.
She says that too. Oh, it could get worse than that, though.
Yeah. And one day I said something like, shoot. And she was like, shoot. She loves all her dolls and she wants to play with them and dress them and she's like, tie shoes.
So she's picking up the language. She's picking up the good stuff too.
She wants that specific light on over the table. So she's like, light on.
Right, yeah, well, and what are you laughing about?
Her. It's like, okay, we really have to be careful what we say.
So, I hope you got a feel for what, not so much what I do, but what this book is all about. That it's the only purpose is for it to be useful. I expect you to, hey, let me try that, let me try this throughout this book. There's my phone number, there's my email. I am accessible. You have any questions? You go, why'd you do that? I would love the dialogue. It's an award-winning book. I didn't even tell you that. It won 2 awards. You should know this. It won an award for psychology and mental health. This is from the Best Book Awards from the American Book Fest. So psychology and mental health, number 1. It won that award. I go, wow. And then the other one I kind of poo-pooed, but I realized I'm as proud as that one. I won an award for parenting. It was a finalist. It came in 2nd place. Parenting and family. Parenting, which had nothing to do with special ed, just a separate category, parenting. So somebody looked at this and said, wow, if you had a kid who has a behavior issue, this book will help you with parenting. So I'm really proud of that. And the last thing I'll say about the book is that the stories are just good stories. And one person said, if you like Oliver Sacks, you'll like this book, because the stories they're interesting stories. One girl is in the basement, in a padded basement, because the girl was just like an animal. She's totally uncontrollable. And she was in the camp and running away from her counselors. When the counselors caught up with her, what did she do? She would bite their hands. So their hands were all bitten. I mean, she just was totally uncontrollable. In 3 weeks, and this I could tell you definitively, because in 3 weeks, the parents come for visiting day, because it was a 6-week camp, and the kid appeared totally typical, totally normal.